Okay, so we're going to introduce looping in this animation series. This is a good action to loop. So to start with, I'm going to make sure I am all the way at frame 1. And I've got the green arrow here, so like when I move my rocket, it's going to go up and down on Y. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to key selected on Y. I'm going to go to the end now and key selected again. So now, no matter what I do, on Y anyway, so I'll go right here and key Y again, the rocket will end where it begins. So this animation, although it's not a very interesting animation, it is a looping animation. Okay, so there's one little error there. Since it ends at a value of 28.54, or starts at a value of 28.54 and ends at a value of 28.54, that actually manifests as like a hold, a little like a double frame. So it's like it's hanging out here for 2 frames instead of just 1 frame. So to fix that, I'm just going to grab this end keyframe and then with the move tool selected, press shift and just nudge it to the right a little bit. So the animation, that keyframe is now right outside of the time range at 20. So it's at 200. It ends at 199. And it doesn't matter what your range is set to, as long as you move your keyframe 1 frame outside of the range, that will make for a much better looping animation. Yep, it's not holding anymore. Or yeah, it's not having that little double frame hold. So I'm going to go ahead and I like it coming up to about that height, so I'm actually going to select that keyframe. I'm going to press Control C. I believe it's Command C on the Apple computers in the classroom. And I'm going to just go ahead and intersperse some of these. That looks like that's a 1-second interval. Then I press Control V or Command V on the Apple to paste. And then just kind of keep an eye on how far apart you want these to be. So I'm putting them about 1 second apart, so every 24 frames. And it doesn't have to be every 24 frames. You can offset it if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. It might actually make it a little more interesting if it doesn't go every 24 frames. But I'm going to leave it every 24 frames to start. I can always change it later. Alright, so I've got those peaks put in there. I'm going to go ahead and put in the valleys. So I'm going to select the first keyframe, Command or Control C to copy, and go in between us. So this is going to wind up, this is long, this is short. Alright, I'll fix the timing of this in a minute. Just get these in here. The idea is to get the rocket moving up and down. Alright. Select all those there, press R to scale, pick roughly the middle, move. Alright. So it's a uniform motion, but it's not really uniform. Okay, it's moving kind of fast. I think that's feeling a little too fast. So I can take some of them out. So I'm going to take a couple of bobs out and then rescale it. going from the middle, or what I perceive to be the middle, and then just kind of dragging it out. Going back to the scale key. Now the move. All right, now play that. Okay, that's moving better. I'm going to play blast it. Make sure to play blast your animations. Okay, that one of those was a little fast. It was, I'm guessing that one there. All right, so I'm going to delete one more Bob. So what I'm choosing to delete there, what I'm doing is I'm basically, this is my end keyframe, so I want to make sure that the last keyframe that I delete in the list is the last keyframe. So like I don't want to delete here. So if I delete here, it makes it flat. But if I delete here, up to here, it makes it a flat curve into there. Once again, that's just moving with the move tool and scaling with the scale tool. That's a little fast. Just remember, the fewer frames an action takes, the quicker it happens. And yes, you could perfectly space those if you want. I'm going to do a play blast again. Set play blast. Right, there we go. I have to actually push the OK button. Okay. It's looking a little choppy. I think that's just because of the resolution I'm actually play blasting at. These are like 5 and 6 gig files here for these short little animations, so my my SATA drive might be having a fit about that. It looks pretty smooth in Maya. I think we're going to roll with that for now. If it's still okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so get your rocket bobbing up and down in a nice loop, and then move on to the next part.